Robert Dio.
Some
जैसे पहले में अंतर जो था
identify and avoid positive.
बाकी चीजें
In this
खाना
regard, ChatGPT.
ये इंडस्ट्री के
Hello, ChatGPT.
मैच पे ही हाँ गिफ्ट किया था मैं क्या नाम जिला ठीक है फिर नाजिल और नाजिल
Hello,
जैसे
ChatGPT.
वो 50 से प्लस है काम है
Hello.
ठीक है
Okay. Today my discussion
How are you
topic.
doing today?
Today my discussion topic is how to identify and avoid toxic positivity. In this regard, my first question is what is toxic positivity?
Right. Toxic productivity is when the drive to get things done starts to harm your well-being instead of supporting it. Like it's when you push yourself past healthy productivity that's gone unhealthy.
Okay. My second question is how is toxic positivity different from optimism?
कोई इस तरह की एक सेकंड के लिए नहीं ख्याल है
Great question. Optimism is hopeful but realistic. It says things can improve, but it's okay if they're hard right now. But toxic positivity dismisses real feelings, like don't be sad, just smile.
यार सारी मुझे तो नहीं लगता मेरे तो हाँ थोड़ा सा मतलब ये हो गया है कि
Next question.
One allows space.
बिल्कुल मतलब किसी परेशानी को
Sure, go ahead.
Okay. Next question. Why do people practice toxic positivity?
People often practice toxic positivity because they feel uncomfortable with negative emotions, either their own or someone else's. Sometimes they're trying to help, but end up minimizing feelings instead. It's also a defense mechanism. If I only allow positive vibes, I don't have to sit with pain or uncertainty.
Okay. Next question. What are the common signs of toxic positivity?
Rushing off someone's feelings with lines like, it could be worse, rushing to fix things instead of listening, or making people feel guilty for being sad, anxious, or tired. It often sounds upbeat on the surface, but underneath, it shuts down honest conversation.
Okay. Next question. How can you identify toxic positivity in everyday conversations? Do you understand?
Here are a few practical ways. Yeah. Right. During this is hard, but I can work through it. Listen without fixing. Practice self-compassion and make space for both hope and struggle to exist.
Okay. Why is it unhealthy to ignore negative emotions? Why is it unhealthy to ignore negative emotions?
बोलते बस अंदाज क्या है
Become
पढ़ाते हैं सारा स्टाइल
कह रहे थे 20 साल मैंने पढ़ा दिया जाने काफी
ये सारा स्टाइल नूरे जाके चंद स्वाट में इन सब पड़ेगा
चालीस बार
चंद स्वाट सब रहा दिए हाँ
So next question is,
छोड़ गए
what emotions are most often
संजय का सारा ध्यान
experienced
इनके ही
by
पास पड़ा
toxic positivity?
शायद भी है मतलब उनके इधर ही आए
हाँ एकदम इनकी पी
Sadness, anger, fear, frustration, grief, and disappointment. Those often get dismissed
दूसरा
because of
मदरसा में भी
toxic
पढ़ा रहे थे
positivity.
ये तीसरा था
Ah, dear.
यानी वो
Okay.
जामिया
Can
फातिमिया है ना
तो
Can positive
जामिया की
thinking
शाख है
ever become harmful?
उधर आज भी
Why?
पढ़ा
अच्छा मैं समझ रहा हूँ अभी मैं इसके बारे में देखता हूँ एक कैंप तो उसका स्किन है और फिर थिंक लेवल
ज्यादा साउंड कम कर रहा हूँ
एवर ठीक है
कोई
फुल
इंग्लिश
हुआ है
बोल बोल
ये
जो
ढूंढे
बोल
दो जरा
उधर चले
हम्म
जाएगा
नाला रूम खाली नहीं हो
Or, okay.
हाँ एक
Next
सेकंड
question.
बस
Next question. Can positive
ओके
thinking can positive thinking ever become harmful? Why?
बहुत ज़्यादा पॉजिटिव सोच कभी कभी इंसान को असली फीलिंग्स
Please,
दबाने पर मजबूर कर देती है जिससे स्ट्रेस बढ़ता है और बातें अनकही रह जाती हैं
okay. Please give me answer in English. How
Sure.
does
when positivity
okay?
when positivity
मैंने नक्शा
when
देखा तो
positivity becomes toxic it can make people feel guilty for
मैं
natural
जब बात की
emotions block honest conversations
तीसरा
and
मैं खुद
add
अपने
pressure
मोबाइल से
instead of support.
आपको क्या
hmm
क्या
Exactly.
ये
It's
देखें हम
like
साजा
being
के लिए
told to
बना रहे हैं
smile when you
साथ में
actually
मान
need
थे
a
उनको
moment
भी
to
दिखा रहे
breathe.
कैसा
Hmm.
Okay. How does
बड़ा
toxic
योमो को
positivity impact relationships?
जरूर ला रहे हैं
It can make partners or friends feel
और
unheard.
नहीं ये
Instead of empathizing, people may rush to fix things or dismiss feelings, which builds distance instead of closeness.
Okay. Why do some people
समझ
feel?
आया
Why do some people feel uncomfortable discussing difficult emotions?
तो वैसे गमले शमले रखे ना
कई लोग uncomfortable इसलिए होते हैं क्योंकि मुश्किल
Please give
emotions
me answer
उन्हें
in English.
sure because difficult emotions can feel overwhelming, unfamiliar, or make people feel powerless. Many worry they'll say the wrong thing or make it worse, so they avoid the topic.
Okay.
Mm.
How can
Okay.
social media contribute to toxic positivity?
Social media often highlights highlight reels, good vibes only posts that can make people hide struggles and feel like pain is abnormal, which pushes toxic positivity. हाँ बिल्कुल मैं समझ रहा हूँ आगे बताइए
Please give me answer in English. What are some common toxic positivity phrases?
phrases like just be positive, others have it worse, at least it's not that bad, or good vibes only.
Okay. Why is everything happens for a reason? Sometimes unhelpful.
It can dismiss real pain and rush people past processing feelings, which shuts down empathy instead of supporting it.
Good. How can toxic positivity make someone feel isolated?
When someone shares pain and keeps hearing, don't be negative, they stop opening up. They feel unseen and alone with those feelings.
Okay. What is emotional validation?
Emotional validation is acknowledging someone's feelings as real and understandable without judging or trying to fix them right away.
Okay. Why is emotional validation important?
Because it helps people feel seen and safe, which lowers defensiveness, builds trust, and makes problem solving actually possible.
How can you avoid someone without dismissing their feelings?
Listen first. Name what they're feeling. Like, that sounds hard. And ask what they need instead of jumping to solutions.
What is the difference between empathy and toxic positivity?
Empathy sits with feelings, even the messy ones. Toxic positivity pushes them away. One connects, the other disconnects.
Okay, how can active listening reduce toxic positivity?
It shows the other person
Why is it okay to experience sadness?
Mhm. Sadness is part of being human. It signals that something matters to you. Letting yourself feel sad can actually help you process, reflect, and move forward more honestly. It's not weakness, and it doesn't have to be rushed.
Okay, how can accepting emotions improve mental well-being?
Hmm. When you let emotions exist instead of fighting them, stress tends to ease. You think clearer, react less impulsively, and you stop wasting energy pretending everything's fine. That makes room for steadier mood, better choices, and frankly, a little more self-trust.
Okay, what role does self-awareness play in avoiding toxicity?
Self-awareness helps you notice when you're dismissing feelings, like saying, I shouldn't feel this. Once you spot that, you can pause, name the emotion, and treat it as information. That awareness keeps optimism realistic instead of forced. You stay kind to yourself without sugarcoating the hard stuff.
How can journaling help process emotions?
Hmm. Writing things down slows your thoughts just enough to notice what's actually going on. Patterns pop out like triggers, needs, or wins. And that clarity makes it easier to accept feelings instead of glossing over them.
How can workplace unintentionally promote toxic positivity?
Hmm. With slogans like good vibes only or praising people for always staying positive, even when they're struggling. That culture discourages honest talk about stress or mistakes. And over time, people hide problems instead of getting help, which can burn folks out or make simple issues worse.
Okay. What can leaders do to create emotionally safe environments?
Hmm. Listen without jumping to fix. Model honest check ins. Reward openness, not just constant cheer. And make space for real feelings without judgment. Even short lines like, thanks for being honest, can shift the tone.
How can parents avoid toxic positivity with their children?
Hmm. Listen first. Let kids name their feelings without rushing them to be happy. Respond with curiosity, like, tell me more, instead of, you're fine. Model calm honesty about your own tough days, age appropriately, and remind them it's okay to feel sad sometimes.
How can parents avoid toxic positivity with their children?
Hmm. Listen without fixing, validate their feelings, avoid always look on the bright side shortcuts, and model honest talk about the hard stuff. That builds trust and helps kids learn resilience without feeling pressured to pretend.
Why should children be allowed to express all emotions?
Because emotions aren't problems, they're signals. Suppressing them can distort that signal. The point isn't to indulge every feeling, but to notice it, understand it, and choose responses that fit your values. Expression, yes, but with awareness and direction.
How was Sorry, how can teachers recognize toxic positivity in classrooms?
When mistakes get brushed aside with just be positive, or when kids are praised only for staying positive, not for being curious or honest, that's a cue. Encourage nuance instead. It's okay to feel disappointed and keep trying. That balance helps students build real resilience instead of the forced cheer.
What are healthier alternatives to saying just stay positive?
Try, it's okay to feel this, or I'm here with you, or we can work through this together. Those keep things realistic and supportive instead of glossing over the hard parts.
Why is resilience different from pretending everything is fine?
Resilience means feeling the hit, learning from it, and adjusting. Pretending just buries the hit. One builds strength over time, the other usually cracks later. So, resilience is honest coping, not denial.
How can therapy help someone dealing with suppressed emotions?
Hmm. Therapists offer a safe space to name those feelings, unpack where they come from, and practice healthier ways to express them. Over time, that support can reduce shame, loosen old patterns, and build new skills for handling tough emotions. It turns keep it together into let's understand this, which is actually much stronger.
Why is vulnerability a strength rather than a weakness?
Hmm. Because it takes courage to be real. Showing uncertainty invites honesty, builds trust, and lets real connection happen. People relate to authenticity, not perfection. So that openness becomes a quiet strength, not a liability.
How does toxic positivity affect grief?
Hmm. It can make people rush mourning, feel guilty for sadness, or hide it, which usually complicates grief rather than easing it.
Why should people be allowed to mourn at their own pace?
Hmm. Because grief isn't linear or uniform. Forcing speed can deepen the hurt. Letting people grieve in their own time respects the reality that healing is personal, not a checklist.
What are healthy coping strategy for difficult emotions?
Mm. Things like mindful breathing, talking to someone you trust, moving your body, journaling, taking quiet time, or setting small, doable steps. Pick what fits the moment. No pressure to be positive on cue.
Okay. How can friends provide meaningful emotional support?
My listening without rushing to fix, checking in consistently, validating feelings, and staying present, even in quiet ways.
Okay. Why is it important to acknowledge fear and anxiety?
Because acknowledging them reduces their control. Naming fear lets you manage it instead of
What is emotional suppression?
emotional suppression is pushing feelings down instead of letting them be felt and named.
What are the long-term effects of emotional suppression?
Chronic stress, sudden outbursts, difficulty intimacy, anxiety, or low mood. Basically, stuff leaks out one way or another.
What are the long-term effects of emotional suppression?
Higher stress levels, strained relationships, trouble recognizing needs, and sometimes physical symptoms, headaches, tension, fatigue. Emotions don't vanish, they demand attention.
How can we create emotionally supportive communities?
Listen generously, share honestly, respect boundaries, welcome hard feelings, and respond with empathy before advice.
How can honesty improve emotional health?
It clears space, less energy wasted hiding, more used understanding yourself. It helps you ask for what you need, set limits, and build healthier connections. It's not about oversharing, it's about
Okay. आज का हमारा सेशन चैटजीपीटी के साथ इंशाल्लाह आप लोगों के डिस्कशन के साथ तब तक के लिए इजाजत
take
अल्लाह
किसी को हम याद नहीं बस जिस बंदे का